Say if you were, hiring for your team, for a product team or whatever, what are the kind of, what are the kind of qualities and skills and mindsets, etc., would you be looking for?
Sure. So if I'm hiring for my team, there are two sets of skills I look for. One is the core technical skills, which are very basic, I would say, which would be again like SQL, some sort of Python, and then if the person has worked on, let's say, Azure or not, because that's not a mandate thing to have, but still, I still look for it because if that person has a prior background, then it will be very, and that person will be very fast to, learn on the job rather than, the person who will not having that, but some sort of technical inclination, SQL, of course, because that is something that we deal with at times, not every day, but at times in our current team as well. So some sort of core skills, and then the whole sort of product related skills, which will be something like how you define your product, what's the strategy you follow for your products, how do you manage the stakeholders, because there are multiple people we deal with every day, day in and day out. It's like 4 to 5 hours of meeting each day that we have currently in our current role. So how you deal with multiple people across the globe, how you work with teams, work within teams, work with your manager, work with your software engineering counterparts. That's a different skill to have, which not all the people have right now. I mean, that's the obvious thing that not every person is equipped with dealing with product but versus a software engineer kind of domain. So that's one part, and then how you structure your thoughts in terms of defining the exact product requirements. So when I say product requirements is that how you give the requirements to your software engineer team. So in how you'll define this is that, let's say we'll take an example of I'll ask that person that what's your favorite Microsoft product, for example. And if that person, let's say, answers his or her favorite product is Excel, for example, my Office 365 Excel. So then we'll probably ask him that define a roadmap for Excel in the next 6 months as to what additional features you can bring in Excel, which is not existing currently. So if you'll answer this question, there's no correct answer here. But the correct thing is that how you structure your thoughts and what exactly you can think, which is completely, I would say, out of the box, because defining a roadmap for Excel, and Excel is a product currently being used by 1 billion plus users, and it is already existing for, I would say, 20 odd years now. And defining the roadmap for that product, which is a lot mature, I don't think anything can be added there. First of all, I mean, if you ask me personally, it's a completely, I would say, 100 on 100 kind of product. It's already being used, and none of the users say that, hey, I want to add this feature which is not there in Excel. So how you think about this new problem, which is, and let the interviewer know in a structured way that he is also convinced. So that's the core kind of skills that we look into a PM, because that is something which you cannot learn in your current job as well, and that is something which you have to learn through YouTube or the other videos, or say I would say even the courses, that how to have a star phase approach, how to structure your thoughts, and so on and so forth. So that kind of a mostly case driven question I'll ask, and based on that we'll see as to how that person is fit for our role. And sorry, the third thing would be the culture fit. Culture fit is probably also a very crucial part. So when I say culture fit, would be that whether that person is fit for Microsoft or not. And that fit is a very ambiguous term. Honestly, it's not a very exact term as to that person is fit or not. But how that person will be driven in the culture and will be able to work the similar hours on the similar and the similar responsiveness, everything is there or not. So culture fit is also an additional aspect.
Definitely. No, awesome. That gives a lot of insight to, the aspiring learners watching and, the people who would want to emulate this kind of a journey. Picking up from that, if, say, at the start of your career, or say when you were switching from, Amex to Microsoft, you had a tool or a platform like LearnTube, right? Earlier in your career or journey. How do you think that, would have impacted your journey? And what do you think is the, value of guided and specialized learning?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, you have to have a mentor or someone so that your journey is more streamlined and not unstructured. In my case, that person, I think that was Sumit, someone who was already in Microsoft. He recently had joined Microsoft. So he shared some of the links. So by chance, I went through and I had all the collated information which was required for me to, switch job at that time. And I browsed just those links. I did not see even a single link outside of that, even a single Google page outside of those 6 to 7 links he shared. And those 6 to 7 links had just videos which were different. Some are product strategy, some are product roadmap, some were related to how to, have some phased approach while giving interviews. So that kind of, if you have a LearnTube or some kind of those kind of platform, that definitely helps you have a structured or a say, streamlined kind of approach while preparing for interviews. So that's very crucial, given the fact that in these times we have plethora of information available on the internet and plethora of resources like Google, even YouTube, and even your Udemy or other sites as well. And the learning is scattered. You have to see as to what kind of pieces of information is relevant for you. And what is not. So it's not like browsing through data and you crunching everything and crunching some keywords and then just throwing them out in the interviews. That will definitely not help. Uh, Having a structure and if the LearnTube would have been there, what it would have happened is that I would have taken instead of 1 month, 1 year to go through every course or something prior to what I was doing, what I did in 1 month. So during that 1 month prep, I used to prepare each day for 1.5 to 1.5 to 2 hours. But if LearnTube had been there, let's say 1 year before I started preparing, then over the weekends I would have browsed through and became even more, I would say, solidified in my approach. So may have grabbed each and every interview that would have come my way. Uh, so because the things would have been more structured. In this case, I would say when I cracked Microsoft, it was mostly, I would say, 50% my prior experience and only 50% of the learnings that came to be helpful. It was not like 100% through the learnings during that 1 month I changed myself. No, that is not possible. It can only happen 6 to 7 months down the line. And with LearnTube, that would be very much streamlined or, any other
Mm.
platform. So that's the benefit that you can have.
Awesome. So yeah, I think like sustained learning is what you're talking about. So you kind of you inculcate it more like a routine in your life rather than like just while a milestone is there. So I think that's really important. I guess as a learning.